Hi guys, how we doing? Hope you're okay. So I'm going to do a stitch with me today. I know it's been a while since I've done one. We're going to be working on wolf castles, castle wolves even. I'm going to be working on this one today. So just a random one I decided just to pull out. Just to get back into doing my stitch with me. Now I'm also, I don't know if you can see this, using one of the new ball ended needles, whatever you call them. Easy Guide ball tip needles, that's what's they're called. So I'm going to use one of these as well today. So we'll see how this goes. I've not used it on 28 count yet. So let's see how we go. So grab your coffee or beverage of your choice and your craft of your choice. And let's get some stitching done. So as you can see, I have my piece in my frame, which means I have my overhead camera on. So hopefully the view should be alright. I'm still trying to work out how I'm going to maneuver around it, so if my head is in your way, I do apologise. It means you will have to look at my ball patch. But I will test. I'll do a little bit of testing and then I'll check the video, and if my head's not in the way, then we'll continue. I'll just get this started. So far, this seems to be going alright with the ball needle. I've not really picked a really good colour for you to see. That must be a pale blue colour. Alright, let me just have a look how that looked on the video. Okay, so my head did get in the way a little bit. So I've just manoeuvred everything. Well, that many needles on here. I've got 3 now. Just found another one on the back. So I'll try this one. So I'm just going to do a couple of stitches again. Headbutt the camera. And see how this goes. And you see how these people doing these stitches with me, and they make it look so easy. If all else fails, I'm better doing it the old way. And get hooked up on my frame. Yeah, it doesn't make it a lot easier with the ball tip needle, that's for sure. Yeah. I've just done a couple of stitches. I'm just going to double check it, make sure everything's how it should be. If it is, we'll get on and do the stitch with me properly. You can see how I'm sat. I've got a right crick in my neck. Right, I'm just going to double check that one, make sure that's okay. Okay, right, take 3. So everything seemed to be okay there. So let's get on. So if you are new to my channel, I don't normally do stitch with me like this. I don't generally do test stitching and stuff like that, but I've got a knot. And normally I have my stitching on my knee and my camera on my stand, because I've been waiting for my overhead camera arm, should I say, camera arm, which I now have. So all good. Right, so let's get into all the randomness. So first of all, I'll give you an update on my mum, since it's been a while. So if you remember, she was on some tablets for sorting out her dizziness and for her eyesight. Well, the tablets they gave her for her dizziness were actually for an ear infection, so they didn't do anything. So she's been to the hospital. With regards to that, she went the other day, so they referred her to her ear, nose and throat specialist to see why she keeps going dizzy. They do believe it is something to do with her ears. So she just got to wait for an appointment on that, but I think that's going to be towards the end of November. With regards to her eye, it turned out she had some blood in the back of her eye from when she had the stroke, and the normal opticians didn't spot this, the hospital one did, so they gave her some drops for that to clear that up, and that seems to have worked a treat, so she can now see properly again out of her eye. So she's happy about that. She hasn't gone to a dentist yet to get teeth sorted out after knocking some out and breaking one. So she's still trying to get into a dentist on that one. Obviously in the UK everyone's in lockdown again, so it might be a while before she gets into a dentist. Apparently they're going to be in lockdown until at least the beginning of December, I believe. And with me, work is going okay. It seems to have calmed down a little bit now, so I don't know if they're just waiting for a load of timber to come in or what, or if we've got all the orders done. They've not said we've finished them all, but we don't have a lot of timber coming in. But there is only, I think there's about maybe 4 weeks left before we break up for Christmas, I think. We've not had the date confirmed yet. It changes every year. My back is fine now. It's not had no problems with it for over a week, which is good. So I just keep making sure I pick things up carefully at work, so nothing too heavy. Do all the what they tell you to do with all the bending and stretching and everything like that. So following doctor's orders for a change, I don't normally. So yeah, if you've never used these Easy Guide needles, they are really good. Like I say, it stops you from piercing your fabric and also piercing any cottons that cottons floss that you've already got in. So they are good that way. The only thing I've not mastered yet, as I said before on my YouTube video, is the ending of the threads. Because as you know, I haven't really done it on the 28 count, but on the rest of my pieces I generally do the pin stitch to finish. You can't do pin stitch on these. I've just put that one in the wrong spot. Yeah, you can't really do pin stitch on these because you can't split the fabric. So you have to change your needle out. And we're going to have to do here, so I can get this one. And then obviously if you want to thread it behind your stitches, you can't get the ball tip under the stitches. So generally have to keep swapping it out for a normal needle. I'm sure there will be a way of doing it, and I will get that mastered at some point. I suppose the good thing with the Baltic ones as well is if you do a mistake like that, you can easily unthread it. Because you know you're not going to catch the other threads underneath it. So obviously from my next video that I do, I will be starting doing my Christmas stitching. So if anybody is wanting to join in, then feel free. And again, feel free to share your progress with me. You can send me an email or on Instagram, whatever. Be good to see what everybody's working on. But yes, I thought I'd start my Christmas stitching. I'm going to say I've got the couple of little small kits that I've got, and then I'm going to start the 3 Heaven and Earth ornaments as well. Obviously they're not going to get done this Christmas, but at least they'll be started then, ready for next year. And then moving forward from there will obviously take us towards the end of the year. Now when it gets towards the end of the year, I haven't decided when yet, I'm gonna do a whip parade, so everyone can see what work I've done and what new charts I've started. So I haven't decided on that date just yet when I'm going to do those. I put that one in the wrong spot. Hey, we're having fun here today, aren't we, guys? Can't stitch today. No, I did put it in the right spot. I just put the second leg through on the wrong spot. I'm sat a little bit further away than what I normally am when I'm stitching, so that I can get this camera in the right spot. I'm gonna have to play around with it a little bit, I think, just so I can get to the right position in order to do these. And the only thing with these Baltic needles is the eye on them are a little bit smaller than on your normal ones, but they are quite easy to thread, which I'm surprised at. I thought they'd be a lot harder with them being a small eye. So yeah, I do recommend these. They are really good. I'll say the only problem I've got is ending threads with them. So I've got a long piece of thread on today, so I shouldn't have to end anything. So we'll just be working with this one colour. So as you know, it's getting a bit hotter over here. We're getting out to 37 degrees. I reckon we're going to have a mini heat wave this week. I say we're not quite into summer yet, but they have been saying that summer may be a bit cooler and wetter than normal. This is to do with some kind of Arctic blast or something that's happening, which is changing the weather pattern for over here. So they reckon it may be cooler than normal and a lot wetter than normal, but we will see what they say. Supposedly with the, I'm going to call it an El Nino, it's meant to be a lot wetter over here, and so far we've not really had that much difference in weather-wise. It's still decent weather. We've had like the odd 1 or 2 storms, which you normally get anyway at this time of year. So it hasn't really changed that much, and as I say, we're warming up a little bit. I'm going to go over the stitch here again because I don't know if I did it right. It doesn't look like it's standing out. No, that looks better. Apologise, I'm just going to do some counting. I hope. I just want to thank as well everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I'm up to 1,300 people at the moment. So last week's video, for some reason, I've got a lot more people joining. I think I've maybe about 70, 80 people joined since last weekend. So, which I'm really happy about. So thank you very much for that, guys. I thought something didn't feel right. I've got a knot under here. And I bet it's right near the start. Yep. This is not turning to be a good stitch with me. I've got knots everywhere under here. Okay. Right, I'm just gonna stop the video a minute and get these knots sorted out. So it won't be a moment, guys. And we're back. So I had to frog the whole thing out because the knot was right up the top here. So it's now out, so that's the main thing. So, right, let's try again, shall we? So I can't remember where I was, but hey, there we go. So, but yeah, Christmas stitching. So if anyone's interested in joining me doing some Christmas stitching, just let me know. As I say, I've got those little kits to do, and I've got the 3 Aid ones to do. So I'm going to start all those. So those will be started. I've got the fabric ordered for the 3 Aids, so they should be here at some point this week. So you'll get to see that on my next video. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to starting those ones. Those should be fun. And I've got fabric for another piece coming as well, which is the Magical Tiger one, I think it's called, or something like that. Which is one of the ones I got bought for my birthday. So I've got the fabric coming for that, so I can get that one started. So I've already got all the floss for it. So I thought I might as well start it. So that's coming now. Obviously that one won't be started straight away. We'll see how we get on with the Christmas stitching, because obviously I don't want to just work solely on those few pieces, because I've a funny feeling that the smaller ones will probably not take me that long to do. Mind you, that's got beading in it, which I've never done before, so we'll see how we go with the beading. I have a funny feeling I'm going to be chasing more beads around the floor than I actually get onto my piece. But someone did send me a little tip with regards to the beading, which is just use a piece of masking tape, fold it over so the sticky side is on the outside, and then just stick it in the beads, and all the beads stick to it, and then you won't drop any. So we'll see how that goes. And then my luck, I'll drop the whole sticky tape and still end up with beads everywhere. Well, that should be fun, because I'm going to say it's the first time I'll have used like I think it's perforated paper or whatever it is that comes with it. I've never used that before, so that should be fun to use. It's getting really hot over here at the moment. As I say, with 37 degrees. I'll turn the fan off so that you'll be able to hear me. So it's absolutely roasting in my house. I've got all the windows open. As many doors as I can open, so the cats can't get out. And to be fair, the The cats are not really bothered about getting out. Only Tiger's bothered about getting out, because, as I say, he was a stray that kind of adopted us. Just turned up one day and never left. So he's used to being outside, but he's not been outside for over a year now. But he still likes to try and get out every now and then. I think it's because he likes laying in the grass. We've got some tubs with cat grass, so planted some of that up. I've got 2 tubs with those, and he absolutely loves it. He hates it if you take it away from him. He chases you around the house. What I generally do is have one out the back where the cats generally are, and then when that one starts going down a bit, I'll swap it out with the other one. So when I pick the other one up to change it, he follows you around and goes mental because you've taken his grass away from him. So he likes that. So they're not very big pots, but he likes to lie in it and dig it up and eat it. I'm waiting for him to use it for the cat tray, but he hasn't done that yet. I've also got him some catnip. Now he's not too bothered about the catnip. Ginger, he likes the catnip. So it's quite funny. So Tiger will go for anyone who goes near his cat grass, and Ginger will go for anyone who goes near his catnip. And Kitty's just not bothered. She just waits till they've disappeared and then she goes and attacks them both anyway. So yeah, so I've got 2 cats that are territorial over the plants. But one good thing, we're having the cat grass and the catnip, means that they've left my houseplants alone. So, whereas before, Tiger was a little terror and used to, if you saw a houseplant, it was his. He had to eat it. So, the amount of houseplants that I had to move high up so he couldn't reach them, and then that would work for so long, and then he'd find a way to get to them. So then you'd have to move them again. Well, since I've had the cat grass and the catnip, I've not been bothered with regards to the houseplants, which is good. So yeah, so looking forward to Christmas. I know it's a bit early yet, but we are coming towards the end of November, so there's not long left. So once it gets to the beginning of December, I'll start putting up my Christmas decorations. Mind you, I need to find a new tree because the cats completely wrecked my tree last year. And by wrecked, I mean completely destroyed it. It was only one of those little cheap ones that, well, it cost me about $20, I think. It was about a 6-foot tree. One of those that you just assemble together. And because the kittens were only young, and your Tiger was young as well, but the kittens used to climb up it. So you'd come home from work and half the branches would be on the floor, all the lights would be off, the baubles would be all over the place because the cats wanted to play with the baubles. So my tree last year was absolutely destroyed. So hoping this year I'll get another cheap tree and see if I can keep that one assembled and in one piece. And if that's the case, then next year I can buy a better tree. I have a funny feeling as soon as they see the baubles, they'll be wanting them. And it's mainly the kittens that are interested in the baubles. Tiger wasn't bothered with the baubles at all. It was mainly the kittens, so obviously they've grown up a little bit now. So hopefully I may be able to keep a tree. Time will tell. So you know how I said on my video that these needles seem to be really good and apparently they don't tarnish very well? Yeah, mine's already going, I can feel it already. So I've only used this 2 days. So it must definitely be something to do with my chemistry. So this is going to be fun trying to find a needle that's not going to tarnish every 2 seconds. But yeah, you know when you feel it getting rougher and rougher? Yeah, that's what this one's doing. It's quite smooth when I started doing this. Now it's not. So it's definitely got to be something to do with my chemistry. But oh well. Not much I can do about that one, unfortunately. So it's either going to be a case of I buy a load and load of needles, or I have to do some really good research. Now someone did send me a message saying that, I think it was, there's a floss tube channel called Sunshine Stitches, and they mentioned something about tarnishing needles and the best type of needles to get. So I'm gonna have a look to see if I can find their channel and see if I can find the video. If not, I'll just message them and see if they can tell me which is the best needles to get, and then give them a try, because it's going to be a bit of a pain swapping needles all the time. Now normally I will use them for a certain length of time when they are tarnished, but as soon as it starts like stripping the fabrics or threads or whatever, then that's when I change them out. Now I say I don't know why, but it also manages to tarnish around the eyes of the needle as well, so it becomes a bit harder to thread. So as soon as it becomes harder to thread, that's when I definitely change the needle out. There's nothing worse than spending 10 minutes trying to thread a needle when you can do it in like a couple of seconds with a brand new one. I mean, with my Majestics Tiger, the one that's on the wall now, that's behind me in my videos, when I was stitching that one, now the needle on there I had for what it took, I started in 2010, no, 2014 I started that one, and I still use the same needle up to finishing it, and that one didn't really tarnish until towards the end, but I think that's because I was stitching every day while I was waiting to start work, so I was stitching on it all the time for several hours a day. So that one didn't really tarnish until near the end, but even then, near the end, it was tarnished, but it wasn't tarnished that bad that I couldn't use it, so I still continued to use it. But just lately, all the needles that I seem to be using now keep tarnishing really, really quickly. As I say, this one is a brand new one. I only started using it yesterday, and I can already feel it tarnishing. I feel it getting rougher. So I'm definitely going to have to find something, or see if there's any kind of lotion or something to stop it from, to block my chemistry. Which is a shame, because these are a good needle. I'm enjoying using these so far. I'm in a different position to where I normally am. Normally I'm sat in my stitchy spot. But in order to use this overhead camera, the only place I can attach it to is, we don't have a fire in this house, but we have a fireplace for some strange reason, which is where mainly my plants are. And it's the only thing that's wide enough for me to be able to get this clamp on for this overhead camera arm. So I'm sat in front of the fireplace at the moment stitching, which is good because it means I get to look out the window as well while I'm stitching. So I've never done that before, because the window's normally behind me. And I'm sure if people can walk past and see me, they think, wondering what the hell I'm doing. Well, this camera stuck above my head, the frame stuck right in front of my face, looking out of a window. They'll probably think I'm nuts. So I have got, still waiting on a couple of parcels to turn up. So I ordered some needle minders about 2 months ago. They're coming from the UK. I don't know if you've heard of her. Name's Denkai Designs. She is a floss tuber. She hasn't done a floss tube for a while. So I know she always did needle minders. She shows you how to make them and everything. So I ordered a couple of needle minders off her, which I'm waiting to come get through. I've got 2 parcels that people have sent me. I don't know what they are. And those got sent off. I think one of them got sent off in September. I'm still waiting for that. I'm not sure when the other one got sent off. It was probably last month. I'm still waiting for that one as well. So obviously post is taking a long time depending on the size of whatever you're sending. But saying that, those little kits that I won as a prize, well, I got from Sonia as a prize, those ones turned up within a couple of weeks. So it's just really strange how some things come through really, really quickly and some things are taking forever. So I'm just hoping that when I send the mini Deer Creek off to my brother, he gets it pretty quick. I would like to have him receive it before Christmas, but we'll soon see. I mean, I've already got the Christmas cards written as well, so I can get them sent off for everybody. They're already getting mine done, so they can get them sent over here. So hopefully everyone will receive them in time. So I have no idea how long this video is going to be. As I say, it's all in bits and bobs, since I've already had to start it 4 times. So again, it's either going to be a really, really short video or a really, really long video. I know some of you would prefer a really, really long video. You keep asking me to make them longer, but you run out of things to say. Well, I do anyway. It's alright when I've got a topic that I know I want to talk about. But when you don't have a topic to talk about and you can't think of one, you start rambling. And then you get a load of strange different conversations. Right, let's choose a different symbol so we can get a different colour that you might actually be able to see. I don't think you'll be able to see that one. Trying to find a darker colour so you've got something that you can see. So this one, this one's a purple. This one might do. So I'm just going to leave that thread behind the back of this one and stitch that one in a bit because I'm going to say I need to change the needle over to a sharper needle. Cut this one in half. So I'm using these off the thread drops. I organised the thread drops so the strands are really, really long. So doing it 1/1, a bit too long. Doing it over, if you're doing it like 10 stitch or 2/1, then that's not too bad. But doing it 1/1 with this size, it's a bit too long. I think that's the reason I got a bit knotted up at the start when I first started doing this today. Come on. There we go. Right. So again, if you've never seen how I start, let me move out of the way. If you've never seen how I start my threads, you should be able to see this. Yeah. So I go down in one end, come up in the hole where I want to start, which in this case is there. Pull it and leave a little bit of a tail. Go back down, come up in your next hole for finishing it off, and then pull that till it's near enough cut. Hopefully you don't get a knot like I just have done there. Okay, it's not one of them days today. complete your stitch. And then just scrape down the back one, which pulls the thread through. So easy enough, that's how I like doing it. If I'm using 2 strands, then I do the loop method, which is even easier. Doing the 1 strand, it's just that way. Now, apparently there is a way of finishing your threads as well with the loop stitch, well, loop method. So that one I'm going to investigate into as well, because that might come in handy. So you'll have to let me know, guys, as well, how the view is from up there with this new stand. Whether it works out better for you, or if you preferred the old way. And what the volume is like as well. Because normally you're a lot closer to my head or my mouth when I'm doing these. So you'll have to let me know how it is. So just do a quick comment for me if you will, guys, just to let me know. And then if I need to readjust anything, then I can readjust them. There's nothing worse than doing a video for you and you can't hear me or see what I'm doing. Just mark these off so I know what I've done. So this one I'm going to continue with later on, after I finish doing my stitch with me. I'll do a bit more work on here, so should see a little bit of progress on this next week's video. I'll put it on, if you do follow me on Instagram, I'll put a picture on there. But I'll not put it on until after I've put the stitch with me up, so then it doesn't obviously do any spoilers. I just want to thank everybody as well who sent me a message on my last week's video showing my completed mini Deer Creek. And so that was fun to do. I enjoyed doing it. I just need to redo it again now for me, because I like that piece. It turned out really, really well. As I say, the washing of it was more fun, because as you can see on here, you can see the grid lines. And it says, I actually looked on the Heaven and Earth Facebook group, and there's a file on there telling you how to get rid of the grid lines, and it just says wash it in, or put it into 90 degrees water with some sort of like detergent, which will then clean it, and it then gets rid of all these grid lines. And it says you just need to keep it in there for 90 minutes. Between 60 and 90 minutes. So I thought, well, that's not too bad. It's only an hour and a half. So I did that and put it in. After an hour and a half, I went and looked, and you could still clearly see the grid lines. So I was like, okay. So I changed the water, put some more, made it hot again, put it back in. Another 90 minutes later. Well, I checked on it about an hour later. You could still see the grid lines. So I topped it up again with a bit more hot water. And then went back about half an hour later. It was finally done. Now, as I say, up close, you can still see the grid lines, so it didn't take them out fully. Now, I don't know if that's just how it turns out when you've washed it from how the pattern is on these, or if I just not let it soak long enough. So, but yeah, 3 hours just to get the grid lines out. But it does look good now that all the grid lines are gone. You can't, because before you could see the grid lines through the white patches on the where the water was for the waterfall. So it does make a big difference not being able to see that. It's a lot clearer now. Okay. Nope. Where am I going? Nope. That's that one. That's that one. Always fun trying to work out where you are. Especially if you put a spot in the wrong spot. A spot in the wrong spot? Yeah, it's stitched in the wrong spot even. So yes. So over here as well, they're still saying that they think they've got a vaccine for corona, and they're hoping to start rolling it out in March. I think they said March, between March and June, sometime around there. One of them. And so if that works, they're looking at starting like flights and stuff like that again, but they said they're still not doing flights international until the end of next year. So even though we have, well, hopefully got a vaccine, they're still not going to open the flights. So I still can't go over to the UK until Christmas. So, which I suppose isn't too bad because I always get 3 weeks off at Christmas anyway. So it saves me having to use my holidays up for during the week, but I would have liked to have gone over in September for my mum's 70th. So it's just a case of now waiting to see if this vaccine actually works. I'm going to say they've done a fair few trials on it apparently over here on the one that they're looking at, and I know there's another one going on which has had some trials done on it as well, and that one seems to be 90% working, so which is good. So yeah, but they did say as soon as they found a vaccine that they would open the well, as soon as they got a vaccine that was going to work, they were going to open the international flights, but it doesn't look like that's happening now. Over here as well, we also have a lot of students, mainly from like India and China, come to study over here, and they're not opening study for them either until everything's been sorted. They want to get everyone vaccinated first, and then they'll think about opening to the students, which is a shame because the students over here do add a lot to the economy. Obviously they have to pay their tuition fees and everything, so it does help out a lot of different people. It keeps the colleges and schools carrying, but I'm sure the government will subsidise them until nearer a time when we can get the students back in again. But again, that's yet to be seen. I'm going to finish this last little bit off, and then we will call it a day. So where are we? So as I say, once I've finished recording this, I'll do some more work on here. Now I've got a bit of cleaning to do as well. So over here, you can't really afford to buy a house over here because you have to have I think it's a 5 or 10%. Sorry for that. You have to have a 5 or 10% deposit to buy a house. Now the deposit generally works out about 20 grand or something like that. So a lot of people rent. So with renting, you have home inspections every so often, just to make sure you're keeping the house in ship-shape condition, you're not damaging anything. So I generally keep the house clean. But when they come, you have to make sure that it's absolutely spotless. So you have to go around and wipe all your skirting boards, your windowsills. You have to get any marks off of doors, and you know, like where people have grabbed the door instead of the handle. So you have to do all that. So it takes a while to get the house ready, and then they're only here for like 20 minutes and then they go again. So you go through all that effort for nothing, and then you've also got to make sure that the garden's all right. Now, here we have like a veranda, balcony, wherever you want, that goes 3/4 of the way around the house. So you have to make sure that that's all clean as well and tidy. And but to be fair, we don't really sit out on the veranda because even though it's nice and sunny, it gets too hot sat out there because the sun's on it all day, every day. So it does get a bit too hot, especially when it's like 37 degrees. So but I wouldn't have thought we've got any problems. I'm going to say the last 2 inspections we've had have been all fine. Well, the last one, I just had to send photos in because of the corona stuff. They weren't coming out to do home inspections, so I just had to send photos in of the property. And they were happy with all that. So I thought, oh, they might do that more often, which is a lot easier. But no, they didn't want to. They decided they're coming out this time. But never mind. Right, so let's have a look. What we at lengthwise. So we're at 30 minutes at the moment, so that's probably going to be possibly a 40 minutes or so video. So that's not too bad. So I'm going to end this here. And then I say I'll do some more work on this later on after I've done some tidying up, get all my washing sorted. So thanks for putting up with me, guys. I'm sorry for all the restarts of the video, as I say. Got tangled up and everything, so the sun's just gone in, so if it's just got dark I do apologise. So I'm say thanks for following. Hope you got plenty of stitching done as well. Any questions, comments or anything like that, please feel free to drop those down below. As I mentioned, do drop me a comment just to let me know what the view's like, if the volume's okay and everything. As I say, if not, then I'll need to work out how to readjust everything. So fingers crossed everything's all okay, and then we can continue doing the Stitch with Maze in future with no problems. So let's have a look what we've done. So we've got 138 stitches in, which isn't too bad to say. I had to redo all these ones, so, and all the knotting and everything, so we didn't do too bad. So again, guys, thanks for watching. Stay safe, and I'll catch you in my next video, which will be next weekend. And I say, if you're going to join me with the Christmas stitching, I'll start in mine on the 21st, which is next Saturday. Well, Saturday coming, and we'll see how we get on with some Christmas stitching. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care.